We have our next signal that Donald Trump is at least thinking of replacing his failed vice presidential candidate, JD Vance, with Robert F. Kennedy Jr. Over on Truth Central, Benny Johnson, with whom I appeared on the Piers Morgan program, put out a post that includes a picture of RFK Jr. and Trump and the text, "The strongest anti-establishment ticket in American history." Donald Trump retruthed that, at least showing that he would consider entertaining the replacement of JD Vance. Now, let me give you the pros and cons of replacing JD Vance with Robert F. Kennedy Jr. as I see them. And if you have anything to add, you can email info@davidpakman.com. The pros of getting rid of Vance and putting in RFK would be broader appeal to some degree geographically, and maybe better at attracting some independent voters, because JD Vance really has brought Trump nothing with regard to the electorate. Maybe RFK would help bring a sliver of Democrats, although it seems that there's really no Democrats that were supporting RFK at the end there. The strength of the outsider image of RFK, because he's not currently in government, although, the Kennedy family are not exactly political outsiders, but at the same time, Robert F. Kennedy Jr. has kind of abandoned his family's political views. You would mobilize the anti-vax people, but the reality is they're probably mostly voting for Trump already. However, and I'll be, frank with you here, there is a left-wing anti-vax contingent as well. And I don't know if they like RFK Jr., but if they do, it's possible that replacing Vance with RFK might coalesce some of the left-wing anti-vaccine vote and get him to vote Trump. I don't know. You would definitely get a bunch of corporate media coverage, because if at this point Trump were to say, JD, you're out, RFK Jr., you're in, that's such a major story at this stage of the campaign. That would get them a huge amount of media attention. RFK would get absolute, first-rate corporate media interviews. There'd be some serious value in terms of media. And then, you add some charisma. RFK is a better speaker than JD Vance. He's more charismatic than JD Vance. He knows a lot more about how to talk about political issues than JD Vance. So those would be the pros of replacing JD with Robert F. Kennedy Jr. Now, what are the cons? Well, you kind of come off like a loser who is terrible at hiring people, can't really make decisions that you stick with. And of course, that's true about Trump. He's terrible at hiring people. He's terrible at selecting people. We just, in the last segment, were looking at how Trump now says John Kelly was a terrible pick for chief of staff, but he said that he's the best at hiring people. So you do concede you made a mistake if you replace JD with RFK. The policy differences are nuts. And we just looked at one. Trump talks about how climate change is completely made up, whereas if I understand his most recent view correctly, RFK Jr. is still an environmentalist who I believe accepts the science on climate. You could end up really frustrating the Republican base if you replace JD Vance with RFK. You appear desperate, which Trump probably is at this point because this whole campaign is going so terribly. And there's a major, major potential to backfire completely. So if I were a betting man, I still think JD Vance does not get replaced. It seems quite obvious that Donald Trump is certainly considering it.